Our next guest, Margaret Jackson, does something so special for the community. Well, everybody should know. Now, you have Cultural Brokers Family Advocate Program. Tell us what you guys do over there.
Okay, we work with the Department of Social Services, Child Welfare System, to improve their service delivery and to help families navigate that system. If you ever get involved with them, it can be very confusing. And so we make our effort to try to make sure that the agency understands the family and the family understands the agency.
Now, the federal government, state government, county government has set up some safety nets for people, ways for people to get help, ways to protect families and children, and it's a spider web of things to try to maneuver through.
Yes.
So if you've only done it once, it's difficult, but you guys have a lot of experience in this. You've done it dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and you can help people get through the bureaucracy.
Yeah, and it's usually they're in a state of crisis. It's there's a terrible thing that have happened, whether it's something that happened to their child or they're having difficulty with substance abuse, violence, whatever, and it's impacting their family and their ability to parent. And here they are involved with child welfare and looking at the safety of their children. And you don't think the best when you're in a crisis. And so they don't hear everything that's going on. So we help them to understand better, and also for the agency to get a better understanding of the family. So
and in the blink of an eye, a family that's been together for 5 or 10 years, all of a sudden some little teeny event happens. It doesn't seem so significant, but the next thing you know, the county has snatched the children out of the home. And if it's never happened to you before, where would you start? Now, with you guys.
Right.
But will the county refer people to call you?
Yes, they do. We target African American families for the crisis referral system because African American families are overrepresented in the child welfare system. We're only 6%. Our children are 6% of the population, and we can be as much as 20% in the system. So when we get touched, there's more of a likelihood that we're going to get in the system and not be able to get out. So we target that, and we also just help all families that are having a difficult time at that crisis. We can provide ongoing services to families. We also do prevention work, parenting, and most recently we've been really working with families around trauma.
Okay.
You know, the adverse childhood experiences studies that were done by Kaiser, which revealed the struggles that all of our families are facing, in particular these families that are being involved with the child welfare system. Trauma is a major part of their lives, and so helping communities to better understand that, families to better understand that, and then parent around that issue.
Okay. Get ready in advance.
Yes.
Now, sometimes people get their kids taken by the county, and of course we all blame the county, right? But sometimes the parent needs to take some steps to get to where they can recover their children. And what are some of the steps that they might have to do?
Well, they'll do an assessment, and our job is to help them do a thorough assessment to really understand the family, whether there's cultural issues, whether there's just how the culture of that family, make sure that the agency understands that and identifies what are those problem areas. Is it substance abuse? Is it the culture within the family? Maybe there's some traditions and things that they do that are not acceptable in this country or in this environment, in our society. And so how do people learn how to parent in a healthy way that is not causing trauma to their children?
And do you just take it to the point they get their kids back, or do you go beyond that and kind of do follow-ups and training?
Well, we do parenting classes, we do trauma classes, we do support. We have a support group, and we just stay with them through the process. And then once we develop a relationship, we're a phone call away. Okay.
Now, I always think of you guys as somebody who gets involved when somebody has their children take away, but do you sometimes get involved before it reaches that point?
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get, because a family member may know that somebody's struggling. I know this person is having trouble with alcohol or drugs. We know that they're making bad decisions, they're compromising things, and as their mother or aunt or sister, when you say something to them, they're like, oh, what do you, get out of my face.
I've seen that
and
many
so
times.
we can help you to figure out how to support them. And our prevention programs, our support group is for those type of situations where they're struggling. They may not want to hear you talking about it, but we can support you in trying to figure out how to best support them.
A lot of people are resentful of their mom telling them how to raise their kids, or their aunt, or their cousins, and sometimes bringing in a professional to say, they get it.
Right, and then talking about that behavior. When you do that behavior, That's scary and it's dangerous to me, and I'm a grown woman. So as a child,
Just think how
what
the
are
child
you doing to
feels,
your
yeah.
child? And so helping people understand that and have those real cogent conversations.
And most people who are new parents have never been a parent. There's no
Right.
training course.
Right.
There's
They
no-
give you a baby, you
There's
know.
no instruction book. The baby just shows up, by the
Yes,
way, and
yes.
is added to the stresses that already exist in life. You know,
Right,
trying to work,
right.
trying to struggle, trying to make
Right.
ends meet, get the PG&E, keep the
Right.
PG&E on, and stuff like that.
Holidays, and just different things, losing your job. People are struggling right
Yeah,
now.
there's a lot of struggling out there. So
Yes,
there is
yes.
help. If you know someone, how should we
Right.
say? If you know somebody who is struggling and maybe are doing things that may be unhealthy for a family unit,
Right.
let's catch them before it gets too far.
That's what we want to do.
Call cultural brokers and see if maybe you guys can intervene. Do you just go knock on people's door?
No, we don't go uninvited. We hope that they'll give us a call. The Department of Social Services can refer us. We also have our parent hotline, so that if a person just wants to call and just get advice, and, or you're that relative and you're like really worried, they can give us a call. Our hotline number is 559-486-1444, and that's for them to call someone, a parent who has been there and done that, who had their children
Who's
removed
been through it all.
successfully.
Yeah.
We'll be there to help you and guide you through.
I was cooking Thanksgiving dinner. I got stuck. I called the turkey hotline. Could you imagine being, and that's so simple. That's
Yeah.
something happens every year. Could you imagine being a parent and you think, oh my gosh, what step should I take here?
Right, right.
And now there's a place they can call and say, hey,
Right.
this is happening.
Right.
What should I
right.
do?
Yeah, and not only just the parents, but if you're that family member that's seeing something,
Seeing
you're worried,
something.
not tried, and I don't know how to do it. What should I do? How do I go about this? That's where a person can say, look, when I was going through it, that's where my parent partners are great. This is what really got my attention.
So these are the people who are working with you have already been through it.
Yeah,
Been down the
yeah.
road and had a good outcome.
Right, right.
And so they're not calling like people who just graduated with their master's degrees and they
Right.
know everything in the
Yeah.
world.
I
These
got
are
some of those, too. I
These are
got some
people who have a
yeah.
master's degree in life. They've been down the road. They've seen everything.
Right.
Or maybe they've seen what you're having.
Right, been there, experienced it for themselves, and what I really like about it is a lot of people think, oh, they can't take my children, they can't do that, or I'm not that bad, I'm not like those people, and they will really explain to you, yes,
Yeah, they
that's
can.
what I used to say.
Not only can they, but I forget certain people
Laws?
are required to if they see
Right,
something. Certain
right.
teachers, and
Mandated
police officers,
reporting?
mandated reporting.
Right,
They
right.
and then nobody has a choice.
Right, right.
The child has to be secured and safe first, and then you got to work through all these things to get
Right,
them back.
right.
But let's catch them before it's too late. If you think you're having issues, or
Yes.
a relative, or a friend, or a neighbor. Call cultural brokers. Call Margaret Jackson or whoever answers the phone over there. Is that the thing to do?
That would be it. And we can also tell you about ways that you can help. Maybe you don't have anyone in that situation, but you have some resources such as furniture or clothing, or you want to, for our parenting class, you want to cook a meal that day.
Yeah.
Your church wants to sponsor the group.
Yeah.
There are various ways that you can help the agency.
I know a lot of moms, and they got 3 kids in school, and they're working their full-time job.
Yeah.
And they get home, and they have a whole nother job now.
Right.
From
right.
getting the homework done to cleaning and cooking and the laundry
Right.
and stuff. And there's those moms who could use a meal waiting there.
Right, right,
You know?
and especially the families that are going through the child welfare system, they have to go to the parenting classes. They have to go to this. They have to go to that, and they don't have the resources. They're struggling. They lost because of what happened. They might have lost their home. They might have lost their jobs. They might have lost their finances, their support, and so sometimes that when they go to the parenting class, what we serve, that might be their only meal. And so if you're able to help us with that, that's wonderful.
So there's a lot of ways to help. And well, what else do you want our viewers to know? Do they go to the website or call you? Or
Yeah, they can go to the website. They can call us. Encourage folks to call the hotline. Just various ways, and we have that information on the internet as well on our website.
Anyway, it's never too late, and it's never too early to contact cultural brokers. Is it mostly about raising kids and child care?
Yeah, and some people, like when we're making this big effort to talk about trauma as well, and we just want our communities to be informed of the impact of trauma on our lives. So we're also looking for churches or community centers that might be interested in allowing us to come and have a conversation with families in the area about what's going on in terms of the trauma. People don't realize what the little eyes of our children see and what they hear and how impactful that is on their life.
I didn't know cultural brokers existed even a year ago, I think, and I'm glad we've got to know. And you guys come every month or two and update our viewers on what's going on. We'll invite you back again and again.
That's awesome.
If you have any questions about cultural brokers, go to the website, which is culturalbrokers.com.
FA.com.
Cultural Brokers FA, what's that stand for?
Family Advocate.
Cultural Brokers Family Advocate, culturalbrokersfa.com. Go there and check them out. Call them up. If you can't reach them or forget, or you see something happening, you say, wow, a few months ago I saw them on Central Valley Talk and you don't remember who they are, call me. I'll give you their direct line and we'll get this taken care of. We'll be back with more Central Valley business right after this.
Thank you.